recorder. It's supposed to be the uh, the little mini mini digital videotapes.
Yeah.
So what we do is we get these tapes and we hook them up to the computer and put them on the computer and capture the raw from the tape.
Put on the disc.
Put it on computer disc, yeah. Then eventually to, the DVD.
You don't lose any clarity there?
Supposed not to. But, a lot smaller.
One of the things that today was road over here, when we have a bad hill where we're extremely muddy, that's when they would try to cover those kind of roads with gravel. We
Okay.
come out of the lower around the creeks.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, it's all kind of stone coming out of the ground here. I see them out here. But we had a special wagon made for that. And it was usually out of planks, I'll say 8-inch wide, but 10 foot long,
Okay.
and it had a handle on each end of it.
Okay.
And you lay these planks on the crossbar, and it had permanent sidebars on it,
Mm-hmm.
front and rear, and you had a place to sit down and ride. You go down and somebody else's property, if you would get access to the creek through his property, they'd let you do it. I mean, unless he was selling it, and that's unusual.
Yeah.
But they get a load of gravel, those planks, and the sides maybe was 6 inches, 8 inches wide on here and 6 inches high, maybe 8 inches. You didn't have to fill them all the way up.
Right.
Whatever you could haul, whatever you could pull, because you only use one team of horses for something like this. Way when you get to the hill where you were working, like I said, we had these planks on, either rather, you could lift that out of the way, and then each plank that was in the wagon, you had the handle cut in the end of it.
Yeah.
You take plank for plank and one at a time, pick it up, let the gravel fall through.
Okay.
You get them all empty, go back, get another load. And that way you didn't have to really spread the stone if you worked it right. I mean, as you pull these planks out, the stone would fall out here and just keep moving up the road.
Right.
Ways of engineering that the average person doesn't know about. And like I said, all those planks that were the base of the wagon, or the box top, or call it whatever you want,
Yeah.
had this handy handle, which is just trim around the end of the plank. You pick it up, turn it sideways, and let the gravel fall through. It worked real good.
Sounds like.
You'd have to spread some of it a little bit, but you get it in the ground there, you'd be able to navigate that hill.
Yeah. You have to do this every year then.
Oh, you did it where you needed it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, those days, all of those roads were dirt, by and large.
Yeah.
But they weren't dirt, they were gravel.
And the gravel was hauled out of the creeks.
Little stones, big stones, you name it.
Yeah.
Just, like I said, took two people to do it. Well, I guess one person could do it, lift up one end and then go to the other end and lift that one up. I don't know. Empty maybe 3 or 4 planks and pull the wagon forward. Yep, let's go, guys. You know. And you had to watch too. I mean, that's why it depends on the size of the planks, because that stuff was heavy.
Right.
And you had a limit too of what you could haul.
Well, how'd you load the truck up in the river? Shovel?
Yeah, you shovel it in, that's right. Take the team of box wagon, go down there and pull into the water. Back it into the water and shovel it full of gravel. It's cool. And it would always turn up more gravel.
Yeah.
And I used to take one of the mules to the blacksmith shop.
Yeah.
If she was going, and I used to ride him bareback. He didn't own a saddle. You just ride him side saddle or spread your legs. Kept reins in your hand to get you to off.
Right.
Anyway, I rode those 3 miles from the blacksmith shop to my home, basically speaking.
Yeah.
And I covered that 3 miles in about 10 minutes. I got home and said, "What are you trying to do, kill him?" I said, "Chad, he's willing to go." I let him go. The harder I ride, the easier it is for you to ride no saddle. Yep, he was a good operator. Well, we think we got a lot of carpenters today, and we have got, but we got those blacksmiths those days or something else. You never saw one.
No.
And it's a shame, because what they did those days of making wagon wheels, wooden wheels, covering with a steel band all the way around, big anvils, big furnace to stick that steel in, get it cherry red. You know,
I've read some books. I'd like to try it.
they had quite an art, let me tell you. These big wagon wheels, big wooden spokes, big hubs, and they had to bought some of this stuff someplace, but they had to put the rest of it together. Mileage-wise, well, where I was at out there on the farm, we were 6 miles from St. Charles,
St. Charles.
west of St. Charles, between St. Charles and St. Peter's. And my Uncle Louis was killed off 40, right in the area. Truck got away from him. Some trucker
Mm-hmm.
plowed right into the end of my uncle, taking his team to the blacksmith shop.
Oh.
Yep. What else would you like to know?
Let's see. Remember Grandma telling me that she was at the zoo where she was working, that she was telling the guy she had to take the day off to go get your ring, or her ring that you had her sent. You sent her a ring to get engaged, I guess, at some point.
That was 100 years ago. What do you expect me to remember?
I wasn't around, so I
No,
gotta rely on your memory, Grandpa.
it wasn't that bad. Well, you didn't make a fortune, you know that.
No?
I don't remember what it made, Joe, $35 a month?
Yeah, maybe.
Huh?
Yeah.
And I had some of that coming out and going into my checking account, or my banking account in St. Charles, saving a little money while I was in the service.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, probably that time, because when I was in, it was. I think it was.
You were on, you weren't on CBs, were you? What were you
I
on?
was on a carrier.
Oh, carrier.
When I was on a carrier, we got flight deck pay, or hazardous, what they call hazardous duty pay, which was $55 a month. I had the base, which was.
Yeah, well, if I was flying, yeah, you had hours. I get credit for. If I put 4 hours a month in, I had another 25 or 30% too. For flying,
For flying?
rather than just be a mechanic.
Did you have to check out the work after you did it? Take it up in the air?
Oh, no.
No.
That I didn't do. They had pilots for that.
But they didn't make you fly along.
No. I didn't do any flying. I just rode along with them.
Mm-hmm.
And if you had any kind of problem, you could monitor if you knew what you were doing or something. But by and large, we had one F4U. No, it wasn't F4, it didn't matter. Anyway, we were having a brake problem. So the boss man said, take it up in the air and fly it around a couple times and come down, I want to see what happens. So the guy did. And it wasn't braking. What are we going to do? He just throw some gravel in there.
Throw some gravel into the brakes.
Well, we didn't do that. Two of the coaches who had roughed up the brake drums so that he'd grab in there and bite something. It helped, but no, it lasted.
Yeah. Wow.
Then I had another time I helping a guy start a plane, and this was a F48, no, F4F, you know. Had the gull wings.
Okay, that was
He had
you
a
on it.
tow hold on the side of the fuselage and a wing over here. He would talk to the pilot. And he was out there trying to start the thing. He was plane captain. I was working the line. And I walked over to him and I said, you know what you're doing? And he says, well, I think I do. He said, I'm trying to start the thing. I said, you got to flood it. And I was concerned because you fire so many rounds through there, you have to pull the starter off and clean it out because it get gummed up. He said, what do I do? I says, throttle was all the way up, wide open. Mixture control is back. Fire it. When it catches, mixture control forward, pull the throttle back. Make sense? Well, fired it. You pull the mixture control back, the throttle was already fired all the way, and plane just lifted up like that and started taking off. My fault was I didn't look at, see if he had chocks under the wheels, he had a stick between his legs where he had it, feet on the brake. No, I didn't see what you're doing. All right. Well, you make a quick decision. I had to get off that fuselage because where I was going, if we hit the brakes, he'd throw me into the prop.
Yeah.
And the other alternative is horizontal stabilizer from back here to take the top of my head off. And I jumped and I ducked and he went over the top. Took 6 inches off the props. With that plane, the prop was bigger than the plane. It would need, you know.
Yeah.
Yep. So I ended up down in sick bay with a broken wrist.
It's not that bad of a trade-off.
I lucked out.
Because that's not a small jump either. That was what, a 6 foot?
Pardon?
That was a pretty tall jump too.
It wasn't that tall a jump. I mean, it might have been 10 feet that I had to get off the side of the plane.
That's a pretty good jump.
Well, split off. What are you looking at?
Gary's looking out the window or something.
Turn it loose, see what happens.
And that same day when I ended up down there with a broken wrist, another plane made stopped landing. I mean,
Yeah.
he had a crash. He crashed on the airstrip. I'm down sick bay, and when landed, he was heading for the Quonset hut where he do mechanical work. And the guys there saw him coming, so they started running to the other end of the Quonset hut. And he caught on fire, exploded out in the front, and that flash caught those guys running down through the middle.
Yeah.
On the back. They brought him in the sick bay and took the shirts off, peeled the skin off the body.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's how the flash from that plane exploding out there on the runway
right.
caught those three guys and burned them so that he just sat there and peeled the skin right off.
They all make it?
Oh yeah.
I was sick for a few weeks
Yeah,
of that.
it's real quick.
I guess we weren't paying enough attention to Gabby.
Oh. Of course, we always had some jerks that took the alcohol from her. I don't want to say. And drank some of it. Got the better part of them.
Yeah.
Mm. That's why-
Wood grain alcohol?
Huh?
Wood grain?
Yeah, what kind of, they had treatment plants on the planes for ice,
Oh, the de-icing?
de-icer. Yeah,
I always thought that was a combination of methanol and ethanol.
I don't know what it was, but it was potent stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Yeah, they would have, that would be, probably wood grain alcohol. They had to squirt it up on the glass there, on the
Pardon?
canopy. They had to squirt it up on the canopy there, with big lazy ice.
Yeah. Yeah, I missed the ride one day. I was supposed to put in some flight time. This was a two-engine job. I don't know what it was anymore. Don't remember.
Yeah.
Anyway, when he was coming in for landing, he didn't judge something right. He set the plane down on the top of a roller,
Yeah.
broke it in half.
Nice.
He lost one man. He was asleep in a bunk down below. Yeah.
Was that one of those PBYs? Wasn't the water land deal, one of those PBYs, was it?
It might have been a PBY, yeah. It was a two-engine job, but it did have pontoons on it. Let's see. Well, maybe it did, Joe, come to think about it, because he was practicing making a landing. That was one of the things he was doing. And he had to have pontoons he was going to land on water, but he just made a mistake of setting the plane down on the top of a swell. Come in too fast or do something, I don't know. Well, I know I wasn't on the plane. I missed my flight.
Yeah. Glad to it.
Huh?
Glad of it.
Oh, yeah, sir. Yep.
Uh, when did you get out of the service then?
1945.
1945?
I went in 42, 9th of October. Discharged in 45, 9th of October. Mark was born 9th of October.
In
Birthday?
52? Mark? 51.
I enjoyed it. I mean, made the most of it, and I enjoyed it. I mean, days off, if I had nothing to do, nothing bothered me,
Yeah.
I'd go down and start a bulldozer, and the earth hauling machine that was behind him, go out and get the load of coral, bring it back in and spread it on the runway.
Yeah.
I knew, I came from the farm, so I was in those construction jobs where I started some there and I knew how to do it. Because when those PBY? No,
Those are the big water land running boats. You land in the water and you,
yeah, they had the doors open up on the,
yeah.
but anyway, we got down to Apple Mama and he yelled for volunteers. What's the volunteers? And I hold my hand up. But he said, what the hell are you doing? I said, I'm going to sit around here. I'm going to do something. He took me out to an LST. That's what it was. They had those bulldozers. Need somebody to start a bulldozer and drive it ashore. And they had the auxiliary motor power plant on the side to start the diesel.
Yeah.
And I did. Drive it ashore. And the next thing you know, when things start disappearing, you were in the area where there was another boat parked earlier. He dug a hole with his power and
Oh.
rudder,
Yeah.
back up and go another way around, you know. It was interesting.
Go out there and drag for coral and bring it in and
Yep. And then the American boys, that island, Apamama, was a native island,
Yeah.
all natives. And so the natives came out to meet us. And all the women, no grass skirts, just a grass skirt down here.
yeah.
Wide open. Eyes got about that big on all the American boys, you know. After 2 or 3 days, it was like looking at hands and fingers on your hand.
Yeah.
But there was a mission on the island. It was a coral road from one end of it to the other that those natives had built. You had coral standing up along the shore in many places like this. They had some bicycles there. I don't know who was supplying them. The boat came in there once a year, I understood, picked up all their hemp that they got from their coconut palms.
Mm-hmm.
And watched these same guys that they built the airstrip, how they took so many trees, they had a notch cut in them for your toes so they could climb up at the top, go a hand around the tree and get your foot in those notches.
Yeah.
When they got up to the top, they take the center spire of the coconut palm, bring it out, tie it down, cut the end off, and hang a coconut skull or head, a crown or shell underneath of it, and catch the coconut oil that dripped out of those coconut palm spires.
Okay.
Then they'd go back to the shed that my buddy and I had for printing pictures, camera shop.
Yeah.
They sit there and stir this stuff up every day, making their kickapoo joy juice.
Oh.
I know what they're doing.
Yeah. Just ferment out.
Yep. And our drinking water was the power plants that they do with electricity here. I mean, I don't know how they do it or what they do, but anyway, I took 2 50-gallon barrels and cut the top out of this one and the bottom out of this one, put them together, boiled them, dug a hole 10 feet deep, because the natives were using all of their water, drinking water and their gardening stuff, all came out of pits that they had dug into the coconut palms,
Mm-hmm.
because the water was filtered. I mean, it went through all the soil,
Right.
the coral, sand. Anyway, and I talked to Marines out of one of these pitcher pumps, the big one that sat on the top of these 600 gallon tanks.
Yeah.
Mount that up there and pump those barrels full of water. Open them tight and wanted fresh water.
Right.
And it was better than what we were getting under those machines.
Little desalination places.
I learned a lot from those natives though, as far as what you can eat, what you can't eat. They told us when we landed there, some of the fish are poisonous, so before you eat any, you better find out. So if we had any fish, we have to talk to the native. He either shake his head yes or no. And if he said no,
Yeah.
we didn't do anything wrong.
Fertilizer.
But they had some darn good gardens, raised their own stuff.
Which island was this? Which island?
Apamama.
Apamama?
Yeah, it's one of the first islands in the Gilbert chain. The Gilberts, the Marshalls, the Marianas. Mariana was Guam.
Okay.
Down in here, the Marshall Island, or Marshall Islands, we had Kwajalein, Henwitak, Johnson Island. Had some tough battles. Tarawa was the first one. We were 90 miles south of that. That one took an awful beating.
Mm-hmm.
I got pictures of some of that stuff. You got a soft pillow there?
We get Gabby back for you.
And I used to hitchhike a ride from Alabama up to Tarawa. I'd ride up and ride back.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't have enough to do. I enjoyed landing the planes when they came in. Because after the plane would land, then I would be out there with a Jeep. He'd have to follow me to his parking place. And park and take him back to headquarters and wait for another plane.
Yeah.
And in here, we had radios those days too. Toby O'Rose would be telling us, "You boys on Apamama, you get order tonight. Watch out, there's going to be some visitors." Toby O'Rose.
Yeah.
Okay? I saw one bomb that they dropped and landed directly in the cockpit of a plane that was parked in his parking spot.
Didn't go off? Or did go off?
Oh yeah, it went damn right it went off.
Okay.
And nobody was there. I mean, the plane was parked
Yeah.
for the night. And another time, had a squadron coming through. I don't remember how many planes, wasn't too many. But anyway, all at once we saw the searchlights come on. That told us something was happening. A while later, why some planes landed. They were out of everything. They were lost. And this is what brought them to where they got to us. And they had thrown out everything they could throw out that was of weight
Mm-hmm.
to lighten their load. That's one time I saw them get out and kiss the ground. Either Mother Earth or something else. But we lost a lot of planes and stuff like that. You know, on Johnson Island, it was just a little bitty thing on a map. I mean, try to find it out there in the Pacific.
I don't know how you could. Today we've got GPS and satellites, and I can know where I'm supposed to be within 6 inches. Back then you had what? Compass and
I don't know. Well, I think you better turn that off.
wear your voice out. Alright. We'll get some more questions later. Oh, Grandpa, I hate to do this to you, but it's not been recording. We'll have to do it all over again.
Pardon?
It's not been recording. We'll have to do it all over again.
Too bad. I saw you close the door.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's see your camera.